Steve, there were so many really terrific presentations yesterday at the first day of the Winn Feline Foundation 2019 FIP Symposium.
Yes.
What would you say are your top 3 takeaways?
Well, first of all, number one, and number one, because, FIP, if you had looked in a book about feline infectious peritonitis, that is 2 years old even, 5 years old, 6 months old, you would see the word fatal next to FIP. And what comes out of this, I think more than anything else, is that FIP is now considered treatable. So
big news.
It is. So that's number one. Number two is that there was a vaccine at one point in time for FIP. It's still out there, I guess. I don't know. Nobody uses it because it doesn't do anything. But
gives a little hope, maybe.
Doesn't do anything. I'm not even sure that the hope is correctly placed, because it gives misdirected hope then. Because the vaccine doesn't do anything. However, one day, knowing what we know today about vaccines, knowing what we know today, more importantly, about viruses, and knowing what we know today in general about specifically FIP, well, one day it can be vaccinatable. And I'll tell you why that's important. So treatment is great. I mean, it's amazing. But if we can prevent it from happening in the first place...
Oh my goodness, that would be enormous.
Then you don't need treatment.
Yeah.
But right now, FIP is happening. So I think number 3 is that... can I do a tie for number 3?
Absolutely. This is your conversation. You can do whatever you want.
So tied at number 3 would be that there today, interestingly enough, is more FIP likely than there has been.
Interesting, yes.
5 or 10 years ago. And the second thing is that FIP has always been considered like impossible to diagnose. Not so much one of the 2 forms, the wet form, but more the dry or the non-effusive form has been difficult to diagnose. And there was a lot of discussion about, okay, here's how you can do that. It really is possible to do with the right veterinarian doing it.
And those treatment algorithms that we were talking about were really interesting, I found.
Yeah, so there were algorithms, as you say, and if you do this test, then look at this. If you don't do this test, depending on the result of the test, look at that, or don't look at that. And it's this whole complicated, but it is a formula that does seem to work. And for me, the incredible thing about this is that experts came in from around the world. These experts who the Winn Feline Foundation greatly has funded over the years. This is the first time in my recollection ever in feline medicine and probably in veterinary medicine that a group has come together from around the world to specifically look at one topic, dispel myths, bring us up to date with the latest science. I mean, it's been absolutely incredible.
It truly has. Really, the energy is just, I mean, you can't even describe it to people who aren't here. So it's been really fantastic.
That's the other thing. So we have veterinary professionals in the room, for sure, veterinarians and technicians, but you have fanciers and cat breeders in the room, and cat enthusiasts who are simply here. And today, specifically, we're going to hear from Allie Miller, who co-produced and acted in a movie about a kitten with FIP. So we're going Hollywood. So it's been a wide variety.
Yeah, it really has. Great times here at the FIP conference. Thank you, Steve, and the Winn Feline Foundation for putting this together, and more to come.